My name's Ed. I live in the Florida Panhandle and I hate fire ants. Here's a fairly typical fire ant mound. It's about 3 feet by 1.5 feet. All them damn holes up there where them things go in and out. Not a whole heck of a lot of activity right now. Zoom in a bit. See a few of them moving around, kind of carefree, kind of taking their time. And we're going to mess up their little world. And we're going to mess up their little world because we hate fire ants. So we're going to see how they hold up to a simulated hurricane. There's any number of things that'll make fire ants come swarming out of their mound. Just pounding your foot next to the nest will make them come out. Dropping something on there, things like that. What we're going to do today is see how they react to hurricane conditions, which of course includes rain, heavy rain, and wind. Heavy rain is provided by a watering can, and the wind, well, let's just give it a minute. Let's go ahead and give them some rain and see how they handle that. I venture to say that was a major inconvenience for our friends. There's a few moving around. This is nothing like what we would have had if we had just touched the top of the mound or pounded a foot next to the nest. Now we need the other component of a hurricane, wind. Now, since I can't summon a hurricane on demand, I'll have to do something else. For example, a leaf blower. Let's hit them. I'll give you a minute to turn down your volume. This tends to be kind of loud. Don't really see too much going on. The shocked inhabitants are coming out. And mind you, this isn't going to make them decide to pick up and move. This colony will still be out here unless I do something drastic like put a bunch of chemical poison down there, and I really don't care to do that. You can see they're moving some of their eggs and larvae around, at least the ones they can retrieve. be honest with you, I really don't care what this is doing to the next generation of fire ants, because, as I said earlier, I hate fire ants. Well, that's pretty typical of what happens when we get a hurricane. We get a lot of rain before the wind really picks up and comes in. I'm kind of curious what would happen if we give them the wind before the rain. Seeing as this is one of several fire ant mounds here in the yard, we can try that with another one. So let's just back off here and see what we have. There's a likely candidate. This particular mound we harassed yesterday with this brick. Tried to teach him how foolish it was to build out of flimsy materials like sand and dirt. Show them how much sturdier their nest would be if they built out of something more substantial like a brick. It didn't help that I dropped it on the mounds, but it wasn't intended to help. Let's go see if we can harass these guys. Okay, here we are at fire ant mound number 2. I haven't poured any water on this one. I'm just going to hit it with the hurricane force winds. Watch your volume. Okay, they're starting to come back out. Really can't be sure how much that messes them up, but I'm certain it's not real fun for them. But you'll notice, after blowing away all that loose sand, how many holes and tunnels there are leading down into the actual nest itself. Those of you who have never seen fire ant mounds are more accustomed to seeing ant mounds that have a single hole in the center, kind of look like a little volcano or something. Fire ant mounds are distinctive in having these multiple entrances. One of the benefits of that is when they do swarm out of there, hundreds and hundreds come out almost instantly. And if it happens to be your bare foot that disturbed them, I feel sorry for you. It's a very painful sting, and you'll get a lot in very short order. For our final bit of fun, we move over here to what's the largest fire ant mound in the yard. This one's probably 4 by 3 feet, maybe even a little bit bigger. Right now it doesn't look like there's a lot of activity going on, but this one has had a lot of activity, and we can see if we can pick up a few of these guys moving around doing anything. We really don't see much. I think what we'd like to try, now we've tried the hurricane rain, hurricane winds, combination of the two. And I think it's be interesting to see how they fare against oh, let's see, an asteroid impact like what killed the dinosaurs. Well, first let's see if this is really an active mound. Yeah, there's some in there. That got a few to move around, but not as many as I would like to see. Well, let's simulate an asteroid impact with this same shovel. Nothing much to see there, but anything that messes up their little lives is a good thing. A bit more active area over here. Well, we're gonna have to go beat on the frightened villagers. And since we still have some water remaining, we might as well get rid of it. Well, I can't be sure how much that messes up their little lives, but it's obviously not a day at the beach for them. And I do enjoy messing up their lives every chance I get. Well, I hope you've enjoyed today's foolishness. Again, my name's Ed. I live in the Florida Panhandle, and I hate fire ants.